What's up everybody? In this episode we're gonna learn on how can we implement the death and the respawn of the player. Boom, we respawned. Let's go. As of every game, we're gonna be dealing with the death of the player and respawning in each level. And the respawn mechanism depends on your gameplay and your level, schematics. So for example, some of the games you respawn in a specific checkpoints. Other games you just respawn and start the whole level. It all depends on your level. But in this episode, I'm gonna build the respawn mechanism in a simple manner. I'm gonna implement two simple things. The first one is reset the whole scene, the whole level. The second thing is reset the position. And as I said again, it depends on your game. You can, in some of the games you have points. Let's say you get 5 coins, and then when you die you want to reset this counter, so you can actually appear these coins and reset the counter, or you can just restart the whole scene. It all depends on you. All you have to do is write down on a paper the things you want stuff to be reset. Okay, so it's gonna be really simple, and it all depends on you where you wanna handle it. And for me, because I like having something like a level manager, and I'm going to create it right now. I'm going to call it level manager. You can put it wherever you want. You can put it in the controller player, or you can put it anywhere else. So we have this up in here. If I double click it, I click the wrong one. Okay. So in this level manager, we're not going to put a lot of stuff. Actually, we don't have anything. What we're gonna do is we're gonna integrate something called let's say reset. Okay, reset level. So let's go public void reset, or let's say restart. I think that's better. We have to make sure that it's not taken by any Unity methods, because reset is already saved up. So restart, what's gonna do is I'm gonna implement 2 ways, okay? And then I'm gonna comment one of them out, and you can use either of them, or you can use your own mechanism. First, number 1, restart the scene, which is quite simple. The second one is reset the player's position. And what else do we have in the game? I guess we can reset the health bar. Yeah, that one we can do it. I mean, let's say if you have more things in the game, you can say reset the health, and then you can say reset score counter, and let's say what else reappear coins in game. So when you do this thing, you have to make sure that you have all these things transfer like a reference in here. But I really suggest, for a simple game, go ahead and do the first one. But I'm going to implement the next one with this simple, which is reset the position, just for the sake of tutorial. So with this one, all you have to do is you have to call the Unity scene manager. So you have to import the scene management. I'm going to go scene manager that load scene. You can write the name of the scene or the index of the scene. The index is basically when you open the build settings. If you click Ctrl+Shift+B, this is the number of the index. Or you can call this method where you go scene manager dot active get active scene. So this one calls the active scene as a scene object, but we need the name of it, because this method, if you click F12, it's going to take us to somewhere really far. Okay, here. So we can see how many calls of float scene we have. We can have this is the one we need. We need to insert a string, which is the name of the scene. So that's simple. We can do this. And the next one, we're gonna save the player's initial position when game starts. When respawning, simply reposition the player to that init position. That's simple. So before we implement this, let's go ahead and apply this, restart the scene. So right now we've got one way of dying in the game, which we built in the previous video, and you can get it from, you can check the video on the top right corner in the info card if you've missed it. We've got this frog, which works as an auto trigger, like a trap. Whenever you touch it, you die or you lose health. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that whenever we reach the end of our health or life count, by the way, you have to choose one of these because you can have both. But I'm gonna apply it on both. Or whenever we touch this possum, a lot of times that we lose our health, and then as soon as we die, I'm gonna call the method of restarting the level. So to make sure of this one, first of all, you have to apply this level manager, put it in the scene. Let's reset the positioning. Put it on the top, level manager. And yep, that's it. So I'm gonna just make this look nice. Now we have to go to the Fox object and then seek out the places that we die from, which is these two scripts. As I said, you have to choose one health mechanism. I mean, it's not logical to have two. So I'm gonna go inside the health bar, and we can see here is we've already built the place where we deal with death. Okay, so we're gonna delete this thing, and I'm gonna call that level manager. So simplest way is just call find object of type level manager, and then we go restart. That's it. And apply the same thing to the life count script. But there's one thing we have to apply, which I haven't done yet because it's connected to the death. Wait, why is it not opening? Okay, here. Let's apply it here. Is that whenever the player dies, we should stop moving or stop getting any input to the controller itself. I assume I did it. I'm not sure if I've done it. I don't know if I thought I had that much. So if health bar is lower, so here, as soon as this happens, we do whatever we've done here. So we have to limit the interaction. So it all happens in the update. So we have something called here if can move, we do stuff. Okay, so we have to add some boolean called dead. Okay, is dead. So by default it's false. So since this one is false, we have to put a public method in here somewhere, and I'd rather put it in here, public void die. I'm gonna call it die, you know? No 0. You can add a lot of stuff in here. You can have a particle system come up, you can have a pop-up window, whatever you want. I'm gonna enable this one, and then we enable this thing. Whenever this thing is enabled, we gotta, where is it? We gotta make sure, since we're using this method to break everything, we can do in here, we can go if is dead, we disable the false. So make it false. You can do it like this, or you can do this way. So if is dead, return. But I don't want to have two stuff in here. I mean it's fine, but I like everything to be compact. And then I can change the name of this into, you know what, let me just change the name of this, call it can move or interact. I think that's fine. No, the naming is not correct. Can move or interact. So we've got this thing done. So as soon as we die, which is gonna be here, we're gonna go ahead and call fox.instance. Never mind. We're gonna find the object fox.die. Die. And then I have another idea. So instead of having these two lines in here, let's go first apply it in here. We can globalize everything, like unify everything. Sorry. We call this thing, we enable the death, and then we actually restart the game. So we don't have to call two things at a time. So we can delete this. We just call the one method. So we can actually make sure that whenever we die, we can add stuff in here instead of calling multiple methods. So that's good, and let's give it a try. What should happen is, as soon as the player dies, the game should restart, like just as an whole. So let's keep track of our health bar. So right now, if I touch this guy, oh, by the way, I forgot to implement the lose health. That's it, dumb move. Lose health. As soon as we lose health, it has to be triggered from here. So we go ahead and yep, we can have to call both of them. So we got a lose health in here, and we got lose health in here, which is cool. Finding I want to remind you that you should not have both of them. So I'm gonna put both of them in here, but one of them should be enabled. That's all. So go health bar. You know what? For the sake of being logical and proper, I'm gonna disable this one in here, the health bar, and I'm gonna disable it in here, and I'm gonna work with the life count, which is on top right. This one makes much more sense. So let's go back to the trap. Let's go here with life count, and it's called lose health. Okay. If you're using the other one, just make sure that you have the health bar enabled. This one will call what health bar? Lose health. Okay. So it's gonna have lose health, whereas find object of type. Let me just fix this. Life count, lose health. I think it's not correct. Lose health. What? Oh, of course. The lose health, we have to decrease an amount, like a number of stuff. And again, you can have an integer in here. Says, let's say, decay amount. I have 25, and this will be added in here, so we can have decay amount. Okay, so it will decrease 25 of your health. I'm gonna go with count, so I'm gonna go with the life count here, and this will do it. Let's go test it out. Okay, let's let it load, and let's play the game. So whenever I touch the frog in here, I lose a health. You see on the top right. I lose another one, and I die. So you can notice that actually it snapped start the whole game, which is good. The next thing we need to do, we need to trigger the same thing from the, let's delete this, we don't need a lot of debug, from the enemy AI in here. So these two will trigger losing the health, and then we can notice we can have a proper death mechanism with a simple respawn. Okay, let's go jump on that possum. So let's touch the frog once, like, oh, we lost health, and then boom, another health. Let's jump and touch the possum, we lost health, jump upwards, boom, we lost, and we respawned. Good. So we've got the first, where is it, level manager? Disable this. Where's the level manager? Yeah, here we go. So we've got the first mechanism, which I recommend using at this time, and then the more you progress in the game, you can point out what other stuff you need in, like, restart it in the game. Reposition should be like this. So next thing we need to do is we need to have something called Victor. Let's go with 2D. Yeah. Player init position. So I'm going to go ahead and inside this start method, I'm going to go and call find fox.transform the position. I'm going to assign this to the Victor2 that we've got. Okay. So what we have in here, we saved the position of the player as soon as the game starts. Okay. But when we die, I don't want to reset the game. I want to reset the position of the player. So what we're going to go with resetting its positions. I'm going to create a method in here, call it public. Let me think of a best way of dealing with this. Yep, I think that's it. So as soon as this happens, I'm gonna re-access the fox himself again. So find game object of fox, and then transform the position, and we reset the position to whatever we have done at the start. So let's test this out. Let's comment this thing because we don't want to reset the scene. And this one is private, so we're not going to see it in the inspector. But I'm going to enable the debugging mode so we can see the value if we need it. So here we go. Let's go down to the fox script. You can see that, actually never mind, we have to go here. You can see that it's at the moment 0, 0. So if we start the game, it's going to take the value of whatever the fox has x and y at the moment, which is 0.5, if I'm not mistaken. Well, yeah, I think it was 0.5. It's fine, because I think he fell and touched the floor. So let's go back in here, inside the game view. Let's go and then respawn. Let's touch 1, twice, thrice. Okay. So we can see that this method can cause different stuff. For example, like I didn't restart the speed, the movement speed, so he restarted and he still have his walking right mechanism. So right, let's see. So if I keep going right, he restarts. You see he's moving right. So with this one, we're gonna have to reset the player's movement speed, which is not a big deal. Let's go ahead, and then I'm gonna do this thing where public void reset value, reset player. Okay, that's good. So with reset player, we have, let's go up in here. Let's decide what we want to reset. Why this happens is because we enable the can is dying, and this becomes false. And when this is false, we're not able to go past this one here. And whatever was in here, like whatever values we had before, is still the same, like basically the horizontal value. So let's go ahead and zero out everything. So the stuff that we trigger by moving or jumping are, let's go ahead, let's go down, see them one by one so we can disable them. Yep, we've got the horizontal value. Okay, the jump, I think the jump has no movement value, so yeah, the jump is basically triggers. So let's hide this one. Let's go with move and crouch. So what we can do, we can enable the crouching. Actually, you know what? We can just call this move method, would give it 0 value in here. I think that works fine. Yep, that should be it. So we can do, we can go move 0 false. So what this should do is it should reset everything, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, in fact, let's do it the proper way. Let's disable the horizontal value, which is this one. Where is it, man? Where is it? Moving. Yeah, move. So yeah, let's go ahead and check where we're calling this. We're calling this from here. And the horizontal value is being set from here. Yeah, so all we have to do, we have to set this value to 0, equals 0, and call this method from the script itself. So we reset the position and we do other stuff. So first of all, let's reset the value, reset the player and its position. Again, this is a rough implementation. For your game, depending on your parameters and your stuff, you're gonna have to apply whatever you need, whether from the level manager or the player controller. Let's test this out. I'm gonna keep running here. 2, 3. I'm gonna go ahead and keep running. Yep. So right now, everything's fine. We restart. We're standing still, but we can't move because we have to re-enable the isDead, make it false. So isDead equals false, which I assume as soon as we do this, everything is going to reset to its value. So we can delete this because it's good to keep it just to force reset everything. But as soon as isDead is false, we will be able to surpass this return value. So let's do our final test. You can also apply the same thing to the flying eagle. It's not that big a deal. 1, 2, 3. So I'm moving 4. See, now everything's fine. We're back to the, like as nothing happened. But again, we also have to restart the live count. So all these stuff, they will come piling up for you. You need to reset everything. So that's why I said let's go ahead and doing this thing here. But more of stuff like reset the live count, and it's not that difficult. So we can go ahead, find, and then live count. So all we have to do is we have to just re-enable everything and then reset this to its original value. So you can play ahead with these ones, and then let me know if you get any difficulties, and let me know in the comments. So we've got ourselves a running mechanism for the death and respawn, which we've got 2 ways of implementing. I suggest doing the upper one. The lower one, it's all customized to your game. So I can't have a general one in here because it's gonna break all your games. So we can restart the whole scene or reset the values that we need in the game by after losing our 4 health count. And if you get any more questions, again, please hit the comment section below or contact me in Discord, which you can find the link in the description. And I hope you liked it and learned something from it. If you did, hit the like and subscribe and click on the bell icon to get the latest updates. Apart from this, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.